The greatest gifts given to Vladimir Putin at the Alaska summit were not the applause, the red carpet, the ride in the beast, or speaking first on the podium. Time was President Trump's greatest gift to his Russian counterpart. Russian success or failure on the front line will be measured in a matter of weeks. Putin has until mid-October until the weather cools, ground softens, and advances become harder. That amounts to 2 full months. His forces are on the brink of turning painfully incremental and costly micro-advances into nowhere villages in eastern Ukraine into a more strategic gain. Another settlement is lost almost daily. The secondary sanctions Trump has threatened, which would penalize those buying Russian oil and gas, and has now twice backed away, would not stop Putin's war effort this year. But it has already clearly put pressure on him, as evidenced by calls from China and India's leaders, and it may have led him to accept Trump's invitation to meet in Alaska, where he was greeted with such kindness. Putin doesn't want to keep the war going for a long time under economic pressure from his 2 main energy customers and effective sponsors, who have to deal with U.S. tariffs. As a result, he moves quickly on the battlefield but painfully slowly at the negotiation table. In Anchorage, Trump's pained expression contradicted the positive claims made by American and Russian staffers about how well the meeting had gone. His instincts had correctly assessed that reality. Getting on well with another president you have welcomed with clapping and a limousine is not real diplomatic progress. And maybe he was aware of that. In truth, Alaska did not go as awfully as it could have for Kyiv. Despite Moscow's nightly murder of Ukrainian civilians in air assaults, Ukrainians had to endure a relatively brief revisionist history lesson from Putin at the podium and the distasteful repetition of how Ukraine and Russia are brotherly nations. However, there were 2 positive aspects to Kyiv. Firstly, Trump and Putin did not cook up a madcap, real estate, sharp-a-map peace deal in a hurry that was short on detail and heavy on wins for Moscow, as some had feared they might. The reverse occurred, and no agreement was reached. The second gain for Ukraine is that the intransigent nature of Putin, despite all of Trump's fawning, was widely on display. Trump didn't have lunch, didn't answer questions from the media, didn't say yes to a return invitation to Moscow, and even said in an interview with Fox News that he wished he hadn't agreed to talk to network host Sean Hannity. At the end, Trump apparently did not want to be there, and Putin may be in error to have made him feel that way.